Wow! What can I do? The server's unplugged! It's Rift time, baby. Entering into the Rift, you'll want to basically have completed all of the content leading up to it. Balls, you should have the Seraphine Mask, orange chestplate, femur growth leggings, and the snake in a boot. And you'll want to maximize your Rift time in order to grind vampires. Maddox will require you to get the base healing melon in order to start Vampire Slayer. And it's going to carry you until you get Holy Ice. It's also really cheap. Before you start spawning bosses, you'll want to grind up the splatters for Cruxes in order to upgrade your Crux Talisman to the Crux Heirloom. And you'll want to spawn bosses by killing these splatters until you reach the 100 kill max on the Heirloom to get the max Rift time and Crux Fortune. Start off with tier 1 vampires, kill it easily, go to tier 2s, kill it easily, and use those Coven Seals to upgrade your pickaxe into the Karambit. And also upgrade your scarf, or upgrade your... Next, you should take on a tier 3, and these should also be relatively easy. If you have a severe skill issue, you may die to it, but you should be able to farm tier 3s with your current gear. Do enough tier 3s to get the steak and the Holy Ice, as well as the juicy healing melon. Not this one, the one below it. And with this gear, you're going to start doing tier 4s. You'll want to spawn your tier 4s in this underground area that I'm showing right now, because the right left click pillar thing does not spawn down here, which makes the boss so much easier. They might patch this in the future, so if it doesn't work and you're watching this and it's in a few months, then balls. You might fail a few tier 4s. It's very possible. I mean, they're not super easy if you don't know the mechanics, but once you really get into the groove of things, things become very easy and you should be able to farm them. And you're gonna farm them for a long time. Farm them until Vampire Slayer 5. You'll want to get the Silver Twist Karambit, the Mythic Scarf, the Leggings of the Coven using Leggings of the Pack. You're gonna get the chestplate. It's really expensive and it takes a while, but it's so good. Notice how I haven't talked about tier 5s yet. Genuinely, you'll want a max setup before doing tier 5s. There's not really any point in doing them before you have a max setup. All the good drops are locked behind Vampire Slayer 5, and tier 5s only give 30 XP more per boss. They take longer to do, they're harder, and they take longer to spawn. It sucks. Now that we have that out of the way, I'd like to give a speech. Your gear does not matter as much as your skill. If some cracked kid came in and all he had was a Holy Ice and good enough armor just to get here, he could do tier 5s if he's insane. It's 90% skill. If you haven't attempted a tier 5 either on alpha or in the real game, it's very difficult. When the boss spawns, within the first 10-ish seconds, it will throw out a goblet. You'll want to either align yourself, the boss, and the goblet in order to have the boss hit it with the Twin Claws attack, or you'll want to sit on the goblet until the boss does the Twin Claws attack, hitting you and the goblet at the same time. Either way, you'll want to use Holy Ice halfway through the sound cue of the Twin Claws attack. And just as a heads up, you're gonna have to Holy Ice every single Twin Claws attack until the boss dies for every single boss that you do. The only way that you can not Holy Ice a Twin Claws attack is if the boss is far enough away for you to dodge the attack by just running out of the way. Next, the boss will enter the phase of red and green circles. You'll want to stay in the green, obviously. And the goblet can still spawn in this phase, so you need to be careful about getting rid of it. The quick times of click up, click down, crouch, jump are really annoying, but they're pretty self-explanatory. If it lags and the text doesn't pop up in time, ooh man, it gets really annoying. One thing you'll find happen is that the Twin Claw will often hit you out of the green ring into the red. This is normally fine because you're Holy Icing every Twin Claw attack anyway. If the Twin Claw is iced when you get hit out of the blocks and they switch to coal, it will damage you on the switch to coal, which will also be iced because you had iced the previous Twin Claw that hit you out of the green. Once you're through this phase of the boss, it will start spawning gargoyles, which take your HP. I don't really know actually what they're called. It's something like gargoyles. Anyway, they have 70 HP. You two-shot them. They take your HP. Kill them as soon as possible. 3 of them normally spawn, so it'll just be 6 hits, and then you go right back to the boss. A goblet also may be spawned this phase, so you gotta be aware of that. One major thing to watch out for it with bosses is spawning goblets, and then they do the flying in the air attack that takes like 5 seconds to resolve. Lead the boss to jump down a few blocks away from the goblet. While it's jumping down, you sit on the goblet, and then it Twin Claws, basically second it lands, and hits you and the goblet at the same time, and then you're good. Once you damage the boss enough, it goes into the second ring phase, which is the same as the first one. Finish it, and deal enough damage until the boss is at 600 HP. Then you can one-shot it with the steak, immediately killing it. And that's all. Thanks for watching, everyone. One last thing I'd recommend is making the vampiric Time Charm last, as it is very expensive and does not help you with the boss at all. Have fun, everyone! Enjoy this clip of Vampire Slayer. Let's fucking go!
Ah, yeah.